I have a confession to make. Ideas are cheap. People don't follow ideas. Let me repeat. People don't follow ideas. People follow people with ideas. Let me give you an example. Ahimsa was only a concept until Gandhi came along. Charity was only a concept until Mother Teresa came along. Ideas don't have power until a person, someone who can carry an idea comes along. After gaining 50 million views online and working with 200 plus founders, business leaders, and change makers across 11 countries, I'm thoroughly convinced that just by marketing yourself, you can shape the future and change the world. That's what my talk today is about. It's about how a personal brand can be instrumental in building your world and changing the world. So what? So people, just by building trust, can translate their trust to their ideas and their trust to the businesses they have. But how do you build trust? How do you build trust? Just by creating content. Just by being out there regularly, every single day, people build trust in you. People relate trust with familiarity. The more familiar you become, the more trust people have on you, and more trust people show on the businesses or the ideas that you have. So, talking about content, how much content do you create, or what kind of content works? Let me tell you what works. One, people do not follow you, they follow your work. People follow your work. So, talk more about your work, talk more about what you do on a daily basis, what you do to change the world. Talk about that. Two, talk anything positive about you and your work. Why positive? There's this study where it says positive content versus negative content, which one works? Which one do you guys think work? How many of you think negative content works? Can I see a raise of hands? How many of you think positive content spreads more? Can I see a raise of hands? Perfect. So let me clarify this for you. Negative content spreads fast, dies fast. Positive content spreads very slow, but never dies. Which one do you think has more power? This brings me back to the classic pink elephant example. Let me give you an exercise. Don't think of a pink elephant. What did you think of? Human brain skips negative content. Your brain skip don't. Brain usually skips no, don't. And that is why people, when people tell us don't do something, we exactly do that thing. Because human mind cannot process negative. So the more the positive content that you create, the better it is for the world and better it is for yourself. And three, talk more about your value systems. Why value systems? Because we live in a world where people know what they want, but are not clear about what they can offer. You have your own value systems. Be it your personal values, business values, family values, things that you deeply believe in, the kind of culture that you follow. These are all your value systems, and that's what make you who you are. Talk more about that. Because there are a zillion people who do the same business that you do. There are a zillion people who have the same idea that you have. But there are not a zillion people with the same value systems. And people, when they relate with your value systems, they would want to work with you. So how much content do you create? How long do you have to do it? But before talking about how long you have to do it, let's talk about how to create original content. We all want to create original content, but I'll tell you how to create original content. The answer is you can't. We are all a copy of a copy of a copy. No matter how original you think your idea is, no matter how original you think you are, you're not. So the best thing to do is be a good copy rather than a bad copy. A bad copy is when you copy from one source, a good copy is when you copy from multiple sources. It's as simple as that. You cannot be an original in today's world because your idea is already outdated. Everybody has the same idea. So it's about copying from multiple sources and putting it out there. Because not a lot of people create content. Only a few people create content, and I would believe that good ideas are worth sharing. And so it's okay to not be original, but be out there. So how long do you create content? My answer is forever. There are two takes to this. One, we live in a noisy world. If you don't create content, someone is going to. And if you want yourself to be heard, you create content. And the second take is, if you can add value with your content, why not do it forever? If you know that you are of value, the world needs you, and it's important that you create content on a regular basis so that the world can benefit from who you are. So how do you sell with content? You don't. You do not sell with content. Because people want to buy, but they don't want to be sold to. People want to buy, but they don't want to be sold to. If you sell with your content, you lose. So what do you do? How do you make people buy? Create so much content and put them in guilt that they are not buying from you. Give them so much value, enormous value, that they feel guilty not buying from you. That's the only way to sell in this digital era. Because from my experience, what I've seen, around creating around 4,000 pieces of content, I have not sold with one single content, but the entire sale of my business is dependent on my content. So that's how you create value for others and do your selling. So once you do your selling, I see this thing called personal branding is about becoming a celebrity, right? It's not. Personal branding is about becoming an authority. Because I am a business person, I am an entrepreneur, I don't want to be a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity material too. But one thing that I know is that I am an authority in what I do. And I know how to establish that, and I would suggest that everyone should establish that, because the ideas that you have might not have power, but you do. You have power to take this idea to the world and change the world. I still literally believe that ideas can change the world because the person who has the idea has the power to change the world. It's always about the person, and you can literally shape the future and change the world by being known. Thank you.